Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Rich. I thought today I'll discuss with Anand something that's been going around on social media and everyone's been talking about it. It's the Knoll thing, but because of the recent developments around the world and geopolitical situation which is happening, everybody's clamoring about it again. Is BRICS. So everyone says BRICS seems to be the new order coming to the world, Anand, and it's going to be the salvation and the new development bank. I mean, banking system created under BRICS is going to save the world. We've been hearing it for some time, then it fades away, then it comes back. Now again, it's back in the forefront, saying how Russia, China, India, Brazil are going to get together and take in charge of the world, and now move away from the dollar and the petrodollar.
Okay. See, I've been hearing this from 2009. So many regimes have come and gone, right? In 2008, 2007 is when I think it is one of those investment banking companies, I think Goldman Sachs, with an Indian economist started this nonsense that a grouping, will replace America. In the late 1980s, there was a thought that Japan will be the next America. Then it became China will be the next America. Then it became BRICS will be the next America. So investment bankers on the sell side need something to sell to you. So they will keep giving you these kind of gas. Sometimes we take things too seriously. And these guys, except Russia and China, the other three did not have a permanent place in the United Nations. These were trying to form a group to put pressure on the West. One of the ideas they came up in 2012-13 was like the Asian Development Bank. They would set up a separate bank, which would give developmental assistance to Asian countries. Okay? Now, this was the logic. Now, let us examine what has happened to each country. Brazil has no middle. For a country to be great, it should have a middle of ground ideology, and it should, if it swings both way too much as it does, then you should bring it to the center. Brazil has swung from one extreme under Lula of extreme left and went to the extreme right.
Correct.
And politics and the government, judiciary got so entitled. You put the ex-president behind jail for 7 years, accusing him of corruption. Then 7 years later, you find that he is not a corrupt, and he is allowed to contest again. And he is going to, looks like he is going to win now.
Correct.
In between, you had a man called Bolsonaro,
Correct.
who was extreme right.
Correct.
In between, Brazil is now in the top 10 in the list. So Brazil is dead, buried and gone. Brazil is basically a big commodity exporter. It has crude and other commodities. You don't talk about a Brazilian startup, a Brazilian big company, except one company which makes airlines. But when you talk about the big admired companies of the world, none of them are from Brazil. It's a commodity exporter. So when the commodity cycle turns in its favor, Brazil does well.
It becomes a superpower.
Yeah. And when the commodity cycle turns negative, Brazil is a basket case. So let's enjoy the football of Brazil. The World Cup is coming. Let's take a seat. Let's have some popcorn. Let's see whether Brazil, I would like Brazil to win the World Cup.
I agree on that.
I'm a great Brazilian fan.
Aren't we all?
I'm waiting for another Pele or Ronaldo or Romario to come and play.
Create magic.
To play magical football.
Yes.
And that's life. Next we come to China. China was supposed to be the next superpower.
Yes, there has also been a dramatic shift in their leadership also within communists.
Alibaba was supposed to be the smash everything. BYD is supposed to become the top electric maker, and China would dominate the world. Then you put an insecure man on top, Xi Jinping, who was to make sure that the Communist Party would remain in power, dismantled everything that Deng did over the last 30 years. Now, what has happened is a company which makes liquor, Konchoi Matao,
Correct.
is the largest and most valuable company in China. much bigger than Tencent,
Correct.
which has done a lot of innovative messaging apps, WeChat,
Correct.
which is China's number one messaging app,
Yes.
and WePay, which is their second biggest payment system.
Correct.
What he has done to Alibaba.
He's hammered Alibaba.
Then there was a company called Didi, which was their car hailing app, a tutorial app.
Yes.
All the technology companies,
I've been
anything that was innovative in China
True.
has been dismantled. All their fangs have been taken out, and they are made to sit in one corner. So all the Americans have left China. Everybody wants to make a new. Intel is putting a big fabrication plant in America because they want to protect themselves. There's a CHIPS Act. The Americans are protecting themselves, and now Biden has said there shall be no
Bringing in from
China.
correct. He
And
has
for the
seconded
first
what Trump did.
And then he says for the first time, no US national is allowed to work in Chinese semiconductor companies. Right? India and China are fighting a war.
Correct.
India denies
Proxy
it.
war.
No, they are fighting an actual war. Nobody in Balwan and Galwan Valley. The Prime Minister of India does not want to say the C word. But in the Chinese Winter Olympics, there is the man who was injured is allowed to light the flag, light the flame.
Correct.
So the two important I and C are clashing with each other.
Correct.
And according to several Indian experts, thousands of acres of Indian land, grazing land, is in Chinese hands. Though the sea, we will not talk about the C word. In India, which was another great hope, even before COVID, growth had plateaued to 4%. Then COVID cratered and brought you down from +4 to -10. You have now barely come up to where you are. And now growth is coming back at 4%. You should remember that China grew at 10% for 25 years to become where it is.
Yes, it had phenomenal growth for a very long time.
We are not having that phenomenal growth.
True.
For whatever reason. Right?
Yes.
And there is a lot of unemployment and a lot of pressure. Indian exports are shrinking.
Very true.
Imports are increasing. The rupee is under pressure.
Now let's talk about
South Africa.
yes.
Nothing much to talk about South Africa.
There's a lot of hope, but that hope seems to have faded.
Faded. It's like their cricket team.
Yes.
Okay. And so
Then we come to Russia.
Now Russia has gone from communism to dictatorship.
Communism, democracy, dictatorship.
Dictatorship. One man holds all sway. People think he is the greatest gift to mankind. There are people in India who believe that he is right. That I am afraid that a third country will become more powerful, so I'll invade my neighbor. And this is like the old British colonial times, when Neville Chamberlain didn't want to fight Hitler.
Very true.
So when they invaded Poland, he declared war, and it's called the phony war. And then only they woke up when he swallowed Russia, when he swallowed France.
Correct. When they were at the door.
At the door. So similarly, the Americans have woken. They slept when he did it in Crimea. They were keeping quiet when he created trouble in various parts of Ukraine.
Very true.
And woke up only when 10% of Ukraine was captured by Russia.
Yes, even when he had amassed his army right at the border and said, I'm not doing anything,
they kept quiet.
Correct.
And now, America is now giving at the rate of $1.5 billion every week or every 2 weeks.
Aid
To fight these guys.
True.
So this is a
situation, what is there with Russia?
Russia and the whole world has sanctioned Russia. Even friends like India and China are using third-party routes to buy from Russia.
Correct.
So Russia has become the pariah for most of the world. So this is the state of BRICS.
So is there any future for BRICS?
As far as developmental banks is concerned, many of the Indian South Asian economy. Sri Lanka is nobody's Sri Lanka's enemy. Sri Lanka is in big trouble. Neither China nor India could have given few billion dollars to save China.
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka, and the development bank never went anywhere near Sri Lanka to bail it out in this tough time. So that's
Where we are.
That's where we are.
Agreed.
In the future, I do not know. I am not like an economist told me, I am not a josier. I have to rely on data that is in front of me. The data in front of me says, till Putin goes, Russia is nothing going to happen. And when
till China takes a U-turn also, nothing.
China, the Xi Jinping is there, nothing is going to happen. Zuma or Zuba, whatever his name, he ran a klepto regime in South Africa. They are trying to fix him. So, in these three countries, leadership itself is a problem.
Agreed. And it's true throughout BRICS.
I don't want.
No, I don't want to generalize India. Let's leave India out of it.
Let's India out of it. The other countries are having a crisis of leadership, and there is a big problem. And China has slowed down. All other countries have slowed down. Now we can say we are the slowest, slowing down the slowest.
Yes. India it's like how our dollar is strengthening and rupee is not weakening. Okay,
understood. So it's in troubled times. Let's wait for a year, then clarity would come on what is happening on the world.
Well, I hope you guys got a glimpse of what really BRICS is, where it's standing, and not to get swayed very easily if we hear different voices in the social media and in regular media, that the true standing of BRICS is this is where we are.
Thank you for watching. Be Rich. If you like the content, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and turn on the bell notification. If you do not turn on the bell notification, you will not be notified every time we put out a video. Thank you for supporting. Be Rich. It's a great privilege and honor that so many of you in thousands have subscribed to my channel and have supported me. I have written 2 books in English, The Alchemy of Money and Ordinary Stocks, Extraordinary Profits. These books are published by us and are ready. If you want to procure a copy, send us a message to the WhatsApp number given below and my team would respond to you. If you want an Amazon Kindle copy, you can click the link below. Finally, those who wish to consult with me can send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for your support. If you like this video, press the subscribe button of my channel, hit the like button and turn on the bell notification.